Welcome to the 2025 edition of ScaffChamp, powered by Layout. The View with Vertex are recording live with our great friends at Leach's. And I do say great friends because you guys look after me with everything that I need. Do you want to kind of introduce yourself, Adrian?
Thanks, Isaac. Yeah, I'm Adrian, and I look after the global sales side of Leach's. Been there since 2009, so fairly old in the tooth.
And this handsome devil beside you.
Wow, now you're talking. So yeah, Grant, I've been responsible for sales leadership for the sales team across Leach. Has been there since 2013. So the business has changed and evolved a lot from when I originally turned up. And yeah, we're very glad to be part of a very well-known and established business out there, really.
Yeah. It is the business. It's the certainly for, you know, ancillary products, helmets, PPE, you know, anything you need scaffold-wise. Leach's is the go-to. It's just the last 2 or 3 years, maybe, it's been insane watching, you know, the growth on social media, on you know, traditional. It's just been massive. But Adrian, you've been with the business how long now?
It's coming up 18 years.
So, like, again, a lot of changes.
Seen a lot of changes. Yeah, 18 years ago, we barely had a website.
Yeah. I've just noticed that yours has disappeared now. The magic of live TV.
So, yeah, it's a massive change. We've gone global. We now export to 80 different countries worldwide. So coming here to Lithuania is really an awesome experience to see a lot of our overseas customers in one field. With the sun shining. Yeah,
thankfully. Yeah, yesterday it was horrendous. It's like 4 seasons in one day, but I think, fingers crossed, today, tomorrow we'll get some nice sunshine. It's a great event. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's incredible. That's the only way to describe it. The way it's been executed, the planning that's gone into it. And yeah, last year was, apart from the massive rainfall on the Saturday evening.
I think that kind of added to it though, like on the last day, it was beautiful, unbroken sunshine all the way through, and then you just saw these clouds on the horizon just coming over, and we're all like, wow, that looks like some storm. Maybe it'll pass, maybe it won't. And then just as the last teams were finishing, it just, like the heavens opened, everyone ran into that tent, and the live stream turned off. So, you know, the commentator, Chris, he was like, the live stream's off, he said, and this is like the best thing that's happened because everyone was all under one roof in this tent, and there was just this crazy party breaking out. People singing and jumping around with flags and all the rest of it, running out into the rain and running back in again. So Chris was like, get the cameras. And then luckily they managed to get all the media team in there, and the world saw, you know, the magic. It was unbelievable. Like you say, great event to be involved with. Good for you guys to come and see the overseas customers face to face. What I wanted to ask you about, probably more yourself, Adrian, with the fact that you've been with the business for such a long time. Could you give us a bit of history about Leach's? Because I know we hear a lot of people speaking about, you know, the high street. You used to be able to get like a rivet for your spanner and put a new box on it and that. Take us back to where the company began.
Yeah, it's a very interesting history, really. So Leach's basically started soon after the war. And I think I'm right in saying that tubular scaffolding was introduced into the UK in 1920. So Leach's started in the mid-1940s, so pretty quick off the ball, really. Yeah. It was started as you say, in a small shop in New Cross. And a lot of our customers that we see today can remember fondly going to that shop to buy their spanner, maybe for themselves or with their dad or with their granddad. And it's really incredible how many people we meet at events like this that can remember walking into that shop and walking out with a Big Ben spanner.
Yeah, and it was Big Ben even back then as well.
Yeah, it was Big Ben back then. Yeah. And after we moved out of that shop, which was obviously before my time, hasten to add, we moved to a shop in Egham, which is in Surrey, not far from Heathrow Airport. And that's when I joined the company. Egham was still up and running. And
still very much a high street, come in, say hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, meet, you know,
really,
face to face.
A really personal type place to go to buy your products. We then had a warehouse in Send, which is in Surrey, just near Woking. which was like a distribution centre, but that was in a rented building, and the guy had got planning permission to develop the whole plot. So we moved that distribution centre to Hereford, where we are based now. So Egham's closed, Send has been redeveloped, and we're now based in Hereford.
And it's very much kind of a industrial warehouse kind of feel to it now. I've been down there. The offices are beautiful, fantastic. You know, the boardroom with all the Leach's, you know, gear behind there. You know, it's really, really smart place. You've still managed to maintain that kind of personal touch with your customers, even from a distribution centre. And I think a lot of that's been driven by, you know, the social media and, you know, the guys that you've had in front of the camera talking about the products and whatnot. So, you know, it's hats off to you. I think there's probably a point between going from the high street to going to the distribution centre that it was kind of a, you know, how do we address this new way of doing business? And I guess younger, fresher faced, do you know what I mean? You know, Grant, I think that's probably, you know, your teams have helped to drive that, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I think we've realised that we had to have that we had to maintain the personality. So we've done that from, you know, we've brought more sales team members in so that they can create that from a face-to-face interaction, as well as obviously what we've got maybe through communications, whether it's over the phone, website, whatever it may be. But personality has been very much at the forefront of our service, and I think that's where we've maintained that and, you know, retain that as well. There's in a world today where there's so much competition and growing competition, and we're regarded as the number one in the market. A lot of, you know, we're getting, you know, everybody might say wanting to copy our product, copy our style, but it's a personality that's really made a difference. I think, you know, the way we'll just go down to the simple things and handing out a freebie maybe back to our customers, and they appreciate that, you know, to a point where sometimes we'll get the customers ringing us saying, "Oh, I didn't get my sweets," or whatever it may be in the box, and you go, well, that tells us that it's the personality touch that our customers like the most, and it's definitely set us apart. And we're continuing to do, you know, the face-to-face interaction.
Yeah,
I think that's
so. Every regional meeting that I go to, you know, every NASC regional meeting, the AGMs and all the rest of it, there's always a presence there, and there's always someone to come and say hi, to, you know, shake hands with. You know, you definitely feel that close relationship between, you know, yourselves and your customers.
Yeah, we have to.
I think it's fair to say we want our customers to have a pleasant experience in dealing with us. And all the staff we've got a really good team based in Hereford. They really put their backs out to go the extra mile for every customer, whether it's a small individual guy or a medium-sized company or a big multinational.
I think even the you know, the influencer marketing stuff that you guys do. I know, like, Joe's going to come in and have a chat with us a little later today. Joe Carr, Stella Scaffolding. I mean, how successful has he been on social media? And you know, you guys are onto that. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's using your products anyway. You know, why not, you know, endorse and it's kind of social selling, really. Yep. And I think that is what a lot of the competitors are kind of missing. I think they're still very much the traditional, we'll have a conference or this type of day where we do this and we invite customers in. And I'm not saying you guys don't do that and do a great job of it, but it's the being around the customers and, you know, putting faces to names.
We make mistakes. There's no beating around the bush, and there'll be some that will see this podcast and go, "Oh, I've not had that experience from Leach's." And look, I'd say, you know, if you haven't, I'm sorry, we made mistakes. But as humans, we would always do and go out of our way to make it up. That's part of us as, you know, as an ethos. You know, hands up, we will take the ownership, and that's where we set ourselves apart. You know, we look at the brand, the Big Ben brand. We will be very sure that if we're putting the Big Ben brand against a product, we won't compromise on quality, and then we'll take the ownership, so that, you know, if something crops up or goes wrong, then we've made a decision. We'll help that customer through that problem if that occurs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so they're like really, really high on sort of customer
service.
service.
As opposed to just bringing a product that may be cheap and cheerful and, washing our hands of the responsibility if something goes wrong.
I personally think in the last few years you've probably done a great job of having that range, of like there is, something for you to get the harness, to get, you've got 50 guys and they all need harnesses, they all need them quickly and all the rest of it. And then there's the sort of the high-end stuff like specialist harnesses for specialist work activities and rescue equipment and all the rest of it. It's all, there's kind of a range, isn't there? You can get the super high-end stuff and you can get the stuff that's going to keep you compliant.
I think it's fair to say, and I've said it a few and have never been contradicted on it, is that we would probably have the most available equipment under one roof for the scaffolding industry worldwide.
It's hard to argue that point, innit? It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be. I think some of the others, some people do great harnesses and they do great rescue equipment. And then where's the spanners? Where's the helmets? Where's the, the boots? Where's the Bakita drills and the, the radios and just absolutely anything that you could need to, to work day to day as a scaffolder or own a scaffolding company. You've pretty much got them covered from all angles.
Yeah, we can kit the guys out from the boots to the helmet with everything in between, within reason, plus all the equipment that you might need to do his job safely, plus anything to do with the scaffolding to make it more visible. We don't sell scaffolding, system scaffolding as such, so we're not a competitor to the likes of Leia, but we can sell tube and fitting, which we sell to several countries worldwide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm learning something new. Right.
Yeah.
We
offer that service
to call it the Amazon of the scaffolding world. It's pretty much that, isn't it? It's the everything store.
Yeah. My middle's name's Jeff, by the way. Yeah. But my bank balance isn't quite up to his.
We can only hope.
Time will tell, yeah.
Yeah. Also do fantastic sweets, by the way, as I'm sure you've heard. I'm getting the shout from the content chef, Mr. Mark Eaton. We're ready to get the next guest in. I can see him lining up outside. So it's been fascinating to chat. Always enjoy catching up. Is there anything you want to tell the audience before we sign out? Where can they find you guys?
www.leaches.com, and there's a very, very good amplification of what we offer as a service from a global perspective, and then right down to the individual buying product. So yeah, and I would say reach out to us, guys. We're a very approachable type of business. We've got a great team, as Adrian's already pointed out, that we would love to just talk to anyone that may be of interest.
So head to a regional meeting, meet the guys there. LinkedIn, Facebook, you're all over the place. So I'm sure people can you're easily found.
Just one thing to add for our European customers, we're opening a warehouse facility in Germany.
See, I almost forgot. I was just about to wrap up and I thought, hang about, we've got an exclusive here. This is before ScaffMag as well.
Brexit obviously didn't help us with our exporting.
No.
But we've overcome that now. We've got a German VAT number and we're going to have stock on the ground in the facility in Germany in the next 3 weeks. And we will obviously update all our customers with that to that effect. And the intention is to home in on extra business in that region: Holland, Belgium, France and Germany. So
global.
If you're in those countries, watch out, folks. We're on the way.
Yeah, tomorrow Germany, the day after the world.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks, Isaac.
Cheers.
Thanks, Isaac.
I truly hope you enjoy this episode. If you do, all I ask is that you like, subscribe and get notified every time we drop a new episode.